Be the firstborn son. You and Sir have the same ears, same nose, but we don't see Sir.
Yeah, I know that's crazy. That's what
I was just trying to figure out how he got 2 daughters at a football game. Where's your son? You gotta understand that pisses people off. Like you have rights. Like
I don't understand. Like most people want to know, but I guess just like you say, he's so big and into their brand, and I'm not putting nothing on nobody. But I wouldn't know what he thinking. But I would know if this would be something I want to get out the way. You know, I wouldn't want this to go on.
Doing so much and running, and it just really dawned on me. It's the man that my mom was underage when she consumed me. Anyone who'd have been older.
Embarrassed at the end of the day, I can take that. I really can. I've been through a lot, been seeing a lot. I can take me being embarrassed. Like this can't take nobody.
Beyonce never expected her world to tremble the way it did that morning. The sun had barely risen over Los Angeles when the news flashed across every screen, every phone, every blog. Family court rules in favor of Rymir. Jay-Z ordered to surrender half his wealth. The internet froze, fans gasped, critics whispered. And Beyonce, she broke down in tears the moment she read the headline. It wasn't just the money, it wasn't even the ruling itself. It was everything that ruling uncovered. Years of secrets, years of pain.
Know who that was because I was young and, you know, had my little brother and I really wasn't worrying about it. She was saying it a lot, but I really just was going along with the person I was just seeing, like the person I looked at who was taking care of me at that time. I really wasn't really trying to understand what my mom was talking about, but she constantly put it in my head like, son, it's not your father, and I really want you to know it is. This person is your father, and I just want you to know. And she continued to tell me that over the years and over the years and over the years, even until I was grown. He never tried to contact me.
Years of truth she was never prepared to confront. For the first time in a long time, the Queen felt small, vulnerable, human. What nobody expected was the emotional storm that would follow. Cameras caught Beyonce wiping her face in a quiet black SUV outside her home. Her team tried to shield her, but the raw sadness was impossible to hide. And just when people thought this was another celebrity scandal, they realized there was something deeper. A family unraveling, a truth resurfacing, and a legacy suddenly hanging in the balance. But before we get to the moment that shattered everything, we need to go back to the beginning.
All I'm asking is, like, because I honestly really want the case to be over with. Like, I've been going through, just like I said, a lot. And as I said, I'm not chasing nobody. I'm not trying to do this to make somebody seem like a bad person, a bad father. I'm not trying to make nobody seem like a bad person or nothing. I'm just really coming out here for the truth. I don't want no money or anything. I wasn't looking for none of that. I just want to know the truth and go to the courts and get the truth. Like, what is it really? What is it? I just really want it over. It's something that's really affecting my life, and I just want it over with. I work every day. I also have my own kids to take care of. So it's like, it's been a journey for me, and it's just like, you know, I just got so much on my name right now. I never asked for money. I don't do interviews just saying, hey, Jay-Z, give me your money, or I'm coming at the Jay-Z for his money. I never did that. I'm not that type of person. I work for everything. I work for everything. Next is I'm just trying to basically make sure no other kids or nobody else in the world has to go through this. Basically, don't feel afraid to go to court and see if a person is your biological parents. You know, so many people are scared, and this is a big thing in the world. A lot of people don't have their fathers because they scared to go out and search for them. And sometimes it only take a little search. You know, go search, and if it's wrong, we're adults. Well, most of us adults, even for the teenagers, this being a role model for them, showing you can't go in the courtroom, and if you're doing everything correctly, you should be able to just get treated as equal as other person. I've always been a person that I never hate anyone. I never, you know, I don't walk around with hate for a person. So I try to teach my kids that just be the best that you can be. So that's just a motto I go off. I would never hate Jay-Z. You know, it was never that type thing. You know, I respect him for everything he did. And as I said, I've been going through a whole lot through these years because this case, like me and my mom, my godmom, we didn't seen the worst. We didn't have people, you know, slander my name like you want Jay-Z money. I hear it all. I'm going to fight until I'm not here no more, and it's never going to be against no one. Like, you know, I'm going to continue to fight. It'll take another 10 years, maybe another 50. Maybe I'll take this to the grave with me, but everybody can say I'll fought.
Back to the history Beyonce thought she had finally left behind. Years before this courtroom shockwave, whispers about Rymir had floated around the music world like a cold draft nobody wanted to acknowledge. He was a young man claiming to be Jay-Z's son, a son born long before the fame, long before the billion-dollar empire, long before Beyonce ever entered the picture. His story sounded unbelievable to some, heartbreaking to others. But no matter how many times he spoke, no matter how many interviews he tried to give, his voice was drowned out by legal teams, paperwork, and powerful machinery that made his journey feel impossible.
So you're friends with Jay-Z, and then at one point it turns romantic.
After a year.
After a year.
After about a year and some change, you know, as things change. Yeah.
And this was Jay-Z during which album? I mean, Reasonable Doubt was already out.
This was, Reasonable. I met Jay-Z right after he dropped Reasonable Doubt.
Right.
Reasonable Doubt was out like a minute because I remember like, oh, what's this? Who's this? Oh, I like this song. And then I met him through a friend at a party. And the next day, Nas and I got into like some big fight and he pissed me off. And so I just thought, let me call Jay-Z. Went on him.
Okay. Now, Jay-Z's first single sampled Nas on the hook, Dead Presidents.
Yes.
So there's already this interesting connection between Jay-Z and Nas from the jump.
Right. But you know how I looked at that? I looked at, oh, that's the producer who sampled it. I didn't look at it. I didn't honestly see the correlation in the very beginning. Like, I didn't even think twice, like, oh, well, these two might.
Okay. But Jay-Z knew that you had a daughter with Nas.
Yes, he did. He was aware of that.
He was aware of that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you guys are messing around. You and Nas are getting into problems, are having problems with your relationship.
Yes.
At what point does Takeover come out?
Takeover came out. I had already left Nas.
Okay.
I had already broken up with him. I shipped all of my things to LA. I moved. I packed Desi and I up. We were already out. So when that came about, Nas and I were not together. We were not in a relationship. We were still going back and forth like couples do who immediately break up. We were still seeing each other. It wasn't like the relationship was, completely null and void. That's difficult. You know what I mean? It takes a little bit of time to get over someone you've been in a relationship with for a decade. So I'm not going to say we weren't still intimate and seeing each other, but we weren't living together and we were not in a relationship. Takeover came when Takeover actually is a product of Jay-Z just being emotional.
Beyonce knew about the rumors, of course. She wasn't naive. She had spent years beside a man who carried more history than he ever admitted. But every time the topic surfaced, Jay dismissed it. He told her it was old lies, recycled stories, people chasing money. Beyonce believed him, or at least she tried to. After everything they had survived as a couple, she wanted to trust the man she built a life with. Still, deep down, she felt a chill every time Rymir's name appeared on social media, every time someone reposted his plea for recognition, every time a new clip of him begging for a DNA test went viral.
Be the firstborn son. You and Sir have the same ears, same nose, but we don't see Sir.
Yeah, I know that's crazy. That's what.
I was just trying to figure out how he got two daughters at a football game. Where's your son? You gotta understand that pisses people off. Like you have rights. Like
I don't understand. Like most people want to know, but I guess just like you say, he's so big and into their brand, and I'm not putting nothing on nobody. But I wouldn't know what he thinking. But I would know if this would be something I want to get out the way. I want this to go on.
Beyonce wasn't angry at him. Her heart hurt for him. Because no one fights that hard unless they truly believe in the blood that ties them to someone. Behind the scenes, things grew more complicated. Beyonce noticed Jay getting quieter, more agitated. He avoided conversations about the case. He avoided her questions. Some nights, he paced the hallway long after midnight.
Don't have Beyonce nothing. She's just light-skinned. I always thought it was kind of weird how she did resemble Jay-Z to a certain extent. But no, that girl is starting to look like Kathy. The eyes, the cheekbones, the jawline, the speltness of her thin figure, her shoulders. Like when she wore that dress with the Grammys, when he set Mike up to be inconvenienced for winning. That white thing that she wore with those boots. The way she walked up. The way she sashayed, and it was off the shoulder like Kathy used to wear off. They God have mercy on their souls if they took that woman's. They God have mercy on their souls if they done that. And for her. And it's my bloodline. It's that bloodline.
Running his hands over his head, muttering to himself. It wasn't guilt she saw, it was fear. The kind of fear a man carries when he knows a truth he doesn't want to face. And when the court finally agreed to review the case again, Beyonce felt the world tilt. Suddenly, documents resurfaced, old testimonies reemerged, questions they thought were buried came roaring back. Beyonce watched the entire thing unfold from the sidelines, a storm she could not stop, a truth she could not outrun. Then came the day that changed everything.
Last question. I asked you to do this earlier, but I just want you to do it even more, go detailed. What do you predict will happen next in the future? You know, it's like you see it before it happens.
Kathy White's true killer is going to be unveiled. And it's not a man. And that woman died screaming.
Anything else?
Yeah. Show him the tape, Diddy. You got it.
Oh, man.
That might buy you a little time. You should probably stop looking for plastic surgeons.
Man.
Looking for a new life, new face. We gonna hang you high. Jay-Z too. Beyonce too. And we gonna round up all the Cause see, I love a good gay man. I just can't stand him. And that's what it is.
With that being
You wanna know what's gonna happen next?
Yeah.
I'm about to fuck up America.
Oh.
That's what's about to happen next.
Here we go.
No more filter. From this point forward, any word that I say, I ain't holding back. And I ain't saying alleged either. Y'all said I was lying the first time. Now it turns out I'm telling the truth. You still don't want to admit that I was right, but you don't want to admit that you was wrong. So really, then the diplomacy doesn't matter. I'ma just keep ruining your lives with the truth.
And here we...
The courtroom was packed. Lawyers lined the walls, reporters squeezed into the benches, and the judge's gavel echoed like thunder. On one side sat Rymir, quiet, composed, carrying the determination of someone who had spent most of his life fighting to be heard. On the other side sat Jay, stoic, unreadable, but noticeably shaken. Beyonce wasn't there, but her presence lingered in every whisper, every camera flash, every heavy breath. As the judge read the final ruling, a hush fell over the room. The words came slowly, almost painfully.
Shocked when Jay said the line in Picasso Baby, yes, because we've talked about that. We have a history that supersedes music, and we know how this business works. We sit back and we laugh at those rumors. We laugh at that. I think he began to feel the pressure because people were saying my age, the age thing. She was 15, 14. She was 15, 14. And after a while, that gets to a person. The Jay I know, the Sean I know, never comes out of camp.
The court finds sufficient evidence to recognize the claims brought forth by Mr. Rymir and orders a substantial transfer of assets equal to half Mr. Carter's declared marital wealth. Shock, gasps, silence. Jay's jaw tightened. Rymir closed his eyes, and miles away, Beyonce broke down. To the outside world, it looked like a legal victory.
Exactly what Jay-Z's accuser is saying, that even though she dropped the lawsuit, she still stands by what she says, and she only dropped it because of harassment and the fact that she's terrified of Jay-Z. She says that Jay-Z is allegedly bullying her into saying that her accusations were false. In fact, in new legal documents, she is claiming that she was recently approached outside of her home and cornered by two people who told her they were investigators working for one of Jay-Z's lawyers. He claims they tried to get her to sign an affidavit stating that her claims against Jay-Z were false, but she refused. Jane Doe also claims the alleged investigators asked her if her attorney, Tony Busby, sought her out as a client and offered her money to pursue false claims against Jay-Z, two allegations she says she denied. He says this alleged confrontation left her intimidated and terrified, wondering how they found her when her identity had remained anonymous in media reports and legal proceedings. He also claims that her parents were approached by two investigators asking similar questions about Busby and her R story. In the new documents, she reveals she decided to drop the claim because she was frightened by the reaction from Jay-Z and his supporters. She says she feared she would be publicly outed and subjected to public attack.
A son reclaiming what he believed he had been denied. But to Beyonce, it was something far deeper. It wasn't the wealth that hurt her, it was the betrayal behind it, the years of secrecy. The questions that could have been answered long ago, but were buried under fear and ego. She cried because she realized something she never wanted to admit. Jay had lied to her. Not just once, not just about a rumor.
Time for Aaliyah Dana Houghton's death to be properly investigated. It's time for Fatima Robinson to speak up about what she heard on that phone. It's time for somebody to be honest about who gave Aaliyah the pills that knocked her out before she was carried onto a plane she didn't want to be on. It's time for the other dancers who knew she was terrified to get on that plane to speak up. And it's time for Hype Williams to be officially questioned about why he made her get on that plane and why they forced her to do it unconscious. It's time to talk, Hype. It's time for the public to ask you why Aaliyah couldn't get on Lenny Kravitz's plane and you had to put her on that clown car plane. And do yourself a favor before you make any statements. Please remember, dog shit out a little X. You're apprenticed. I know a lot more about you than you think I do.
But for decades. And the truth didn't come from him. It came from a courtroom. As the ruling spread like wildfire, the drama escalated. Blogs speculated. Fans fought online. Comment sections exploded with theories. Some blamed Jay. Some sympathized with Beyonce. Others defended Rymir, saying he had every right to fight for answers. And Beyonce watched the chaos unfold around her like she was trapped inside her own life story. What nobody expected was the emotional aftermath that would hit her family. At home, the energy shifted. Beyonce barely spoke for days.
Because she was like a tomboy. She was little to me. But then one time, she was, I guess we had the same bookkeeper, and I walked past, and the thing about Aaliyah was like every time I saw her, she looked different. So she had different looks. That. And I realized it was Aaliyah, and then I just threw my A game. And then, you know, I guess Jay was trying to get at her as well, and I didn't know. And then it got brought up, and I was like, for y'all. But it never worked out for them, and we were both like trying to get at her. I kind of eased up, but then we ran into each other. It's a long story.
So you and Jay was both getting at Aaliyah, obviously.
Everybody was getting at Aaliyah, bro.
Right.
She was like, you know, she'll go to she wasn't going to just be smashing. So that was like the big deal, like who could get with Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But like,
was he bitter?
Obviously. Yeah, he felt the way.
The true reason of Rockefeller's breaking.
But everybody knows that shit. Like we were both.
I heard it, but I didn't.
Yeah, but they be trying to act like he was like really flowers and doing all this shit. Like he was courting her. So we were both going hard. And we ended up in the same house 4th of July. So we were, for some reason, this day.
Wait a minute, you, Jay, and Aaliyah ended up in the same house?
Yeah.
That's funny.
So it was like one day it might lean toward him and then it would lean toward me. But I was just on fire that week. Like I was just, everything I was saying was funny. You know what I'm saying? It was like, and I remember coming downstairs, like, you know, it happened. He was like, you know, this is going to be hard for me. Because he was like, because like, you know, his friends were laughing at it.
Her team canceled appearances, postponed projects. She spent hours alone in her studio, writing, crying, sitting in silence. Some said she was angry. Others said she was heartbroken. But the truth was simpler. She felt betrayed by the person she trusted most. Jay tried to apologize. He tried to explain, but every word sounded like another excuse. Their home became a battlefield of quiet arguments, long stares, and unanswered questions. Beyonce wasn't just hurting for herself. She was hurting for her children, who were now tied to a legacy stained by secrets Jane never wanted to face. And while the internet celebrated the drama, Beyonce was fighting a private war with her emotions. Fame didn't matter. Money didn't matter. The only thing that mattered was honesty, and she felt she had been denied that. Still, there was another layer to her pain. Beyonce had always prided herself on protecting her image, her family, her peace.
It's emboldening me. I spoke on Piers Morgan. I said that I had 3 victims that I've been working with, victims of the Carters, that were ready to come forward. This might help them feel a little more confident now. So this is great because he's been evading. But the thing is, everyone in the backdrop knew that he was the celebrity John Doe. Everybody knew that. They knew it when I did Piers Morgan.
Is Beyonce celebrity B?
I hope to God not. But she was around. And she's very... she's got enough on her plate. After everything that happened with the election and everything that's happening right now, I'm not going to dump on that woman. She got better fish to fry.
Pushing to get this out of Rihanna, and when it does, man, it made me feel very, very uncomfortable.
Audition. Yes, but before I met him, I was so nervous. I was shaking literally. But the moment I walked into the office, the atmosphere was so warm and welcoming.
You had to sing a cappella for him?
Yes, I had to sing. I sang Fun to Replay. I sang another ballad from the album last time.
So then what did he say to you? He said something to you.
Oh yes, he said, we don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, you did it homework.
I did a lot of homework on you, Miss Lady.
He said, there are 2 ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
So you was like, where's the pen? Here's the paper. I'm signing.
Yeah.
The audience is so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if Tyra was trying to get that on the record, but my God, what Jaguar? He threatened her. This is her own words coming out of her mouth. And she was a kid at that time, correct?
15-year-old girl who had been flown to the United States without parental supervision or a chaperone, brought to a grown man's office in a large corporate Manhattan building. Everybody knew when she flew in. I was there the day she got signed. Everyone was talking about it. And the 6 hours that she spent with him, and the 4 hours that she spent alone with him with no parental supervision. Her father didn't show up to the next day to come and collect the check.
Well, and
this isn't her life.
The rumors were even beyond that, right? That Jay-Z was cheating on Beyonce with her when she was
Very much
17
so.
is what a lot of this came out through a publicist who later then
Have
had
you
to
spoken
apologize.
to my friend? Hey, you should talk to Jonathan.
Please.
Because Jonathan was there. He was right there working with Rihanna. And it was right when they started crafting her to be seen as a brand and commodity only and not a...
She had spent years building a kingdom of strength and grace. But now, the world saw her vulnerability, the tears, the trembling hands, the hurt behind her smile. She felt exposed in a way she never experienced before. Fans rallied around her, hashtags trended, messages poured in. Yet none of it could erase the ache she felt, knowing the world was watching her family crumble. But here's the twist. This wasn't the end, not even close. Because while Jay dealt with the financial consequences, Beyonce was dealing with the emotional fallout, and something powerful awakened inside her. The pain didn't break her, it sharpened her. It lit a fire she hadn't felt since the early days of her career. For the first time in a long time, she allowed herself to feel everything: the betrayal, the disappointment, the anger, the sadness. And through those emotions, she found clarity. She realized she didn't need to carry Jay's mistakes. She didn't need to defend him. She didn't need to explain anything to anyone. The truth was out, and now she could finally move in her own direction, free of secrets, free of denial, free of emotional weight she never asked for. In the weeks that followed, Beyoncé's strength returned piece by piece. She reconnected with her craft, she leaned on her loved ones. She stopped running from the story and started owning her side of it. Her tears became her fuel. Her silence became her power. And slowly, the queen stood back up. The world watched a woman who had been shaken, hurt, blindsided, rise again. By the time she stepped out in public, the cameras didn't capture a broken wife. They captured a woman who had survived something most people would never understand. They captured a woman who had been forced into a war she didn't start and still walked out with her dignity intact. And that's what made the ending so powerful. Because in this fictional universe, Beyoncé didn't crumble under the weight of scandal. She transformed through it. She didn't let betrayal define her. She let growth define her. She didn't let a courtroom decide her worth. She reclaimed it herself. And as for Jay, his journey was only beginning. A journey of accountability, humility, and consequences he never imagined he would face. Whether he and Beyoncé would rebuild or drift apart remained unknown. But one thing was certain: nothing would ever be the same again. This wasn't just a scandal. It wasn't just a ruling. It was a turning point. A moment that forced the world's most private superstar to confront the most painful chapter of her life and walk through it with strength, grace, and honesty. And as the world watches what comes next, one question remains. Can a kingdom built on love survive a truth built on decades of silence? Only time will tell.